Hello, everyone.
What's up?
Hello, everyone.
How's everybody doing?
Welcome to a day I like to call National No More Goddamn Political Text Day or commercials.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ, how does that feel?
That feels so good. That feels so good.
I actually went on my favorite streaming service, Pluto TV.
Pluto TV. Shout out if you want to give us a sponsorship.
Actually, I don't know who owns Pluto TV. For all I know, they're owned by the Klan, but they have superior programming, whoever it is. And I went on Pluto TV, no political ads.
It was great.
Just the normal slate of, pharmaceutical ads.
Erectile dysfunction ads.
Dick pills.
the normal shit that you get.
Stuff. But
Can I say something about political tax? Like, okay, I understand there's a need for it, I guess, but I'm telling you, I got political texts and they were addressed to some lady named Shirley. My name is not Shirley. Like, I'm sorry. Don't call me Shirley, okay?
Okay, look, Liam. Look, Leslie Nielsen. Take it easy.
Listen, it had to be said, okay?
I just want to also take this time quickly to acknowledge some passings that we've had since the last time you've had us on the program.
Passings?
Yes. Rest in peace to the lovely and talented and wonderful Miss Terry Garr. Certainly a staple of some of our favorite films from when we were coming up.
Young Frankenstein, among others.
Young Frankenstein. And a heartfelt rest in peace to Quincy Jones.
Damn it. You. God damn it.
Quincy Jones just leaving us tonight. We're recording this on Tuesday before the election, so we don't know if it's a wrap for democracy or not yet, but we will. But we should have some inkling of that by the time this podcast goes out. Speaking of the potential end of democracy, since we're wrapping this up,
the end of democracy, the end of days, the end of everything. Like we had a good run, didn't we? If that's in fact how it went down,
we had a good run. We had 200 and 250 years and change. We had a good run. It was fine.
It was bound to go down, but I didn't expect it to we're recording this on Tuesday. We're recording this on Monday, and who knows how this is going to shake out. But if come Wednesday you're listening to us and you're feeling a little bad, disheartened, disappointed, that's fine. We probably feel the same way. And if you're elated, excited, and hopeful for the future, we would probably also feel that way too.
The good thing about this election is, if you win, go drink. If you lose, go drink.
Go drink, yeah. Either way.
The bartenders of America can't lose, really. It's great work by those guys.
Just remember to tip your bartenders, of course, because let's face it, they're all out here. They're working. They're just gonna be as depressed and disappointed as some of you, or maybe they'll be happy, just depending. Like either way, like Steve said, there's bound to be drinking wherever it is that you choose to imbibe alcohol.
I have two bottles of top shelf bourbon stashed away in my bunker.
So, Jesus. Makes me feel really, really inferior because I'm just sitting here sipping on Evan Williams honey whiskey. Like that's all I got.
Listen, whatever you got, that's fine.
Okay, you're not going to judge me because I'm not drinking Glenlivet 35 or something.
No, listen, not everybody can be rolling with the Glenlivet 35. Not everybody can be drinking the Macallan,
Yeah, I got you. So real quick, about this election. We do want to go out and say, again, we are recording this on Monday, but as a reminder, we'll put this portion out on our socials tomorrow. Go out in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The polls open at 7 a.m. They're open until 8. Go out, vote, exercise your right to vote, exercise your right to choose who you want to run this country. Regardless of who it is that you want to run this country, just choose and exercise your right, and hopefully it goes smoothly and there's no bullshit and there's no nonsense or anything like that. But at this point, who knows, you know?
And for all of everybody listening that is in San Diego and maybe Los Angeles, other parts of Southern California, don't worry about it. We got it in the bag. It's unofficial.
No, stop. Shut up. Asshole. This is a very important. This is seriously. A very yes. Very serious about this podcast. I know we're all about dick and fart and nerd jokes, but this is serious. This is serious shit here. Also, very, very important reminder. No matter where you are, no matter where you vote, if you are in line before the polls close, stay in line. You will still be able to exercise your right to vote if you are still in line. Stay in line. Don't leave. I know that certain polling places will probably have lines 2-3 miles down the road, but stick it out. Hopefully the weather's good for you. Hopefully the temperature's not too bad. Before we came on, Teebs did mention some winter storm warnings in effect in the states of Colorado and Montana.
Montana, parts of Washington, but not the parts that matter. So,
so if you're listening to us, just throw on some extra blankets if you're a listener in those 3 states, and you'll be fine. You'll be good to go. On to the podcast.
So we were thinking, since this is probably the end of democracy,
Jesus Christ, you paint such a vivid, hopeful picture. Do you know that?
We want to look back at
power through it.
We want to look back at just how much fun we had voting, doing stuff, political figures.
Doing stuff? Jesus. God damn.
As you may or may not know, the movies love the office of the president.
They really do.
Being primarily a pop culture-based podcast, we didn't want to get too political, but we're trying to find that middle ground where politics and pop culture combine. So what we thought would be good is if we were to assess the credentials, or just basically rank, give our opinions on maybe some of our favorite fictional elected officials.
So I love this idea. I always love this idea. I'm excited to be a part of it. But would you allow me to set the mood a little bit for this particular thing? Like I feel like this is.
Oh. Nice.
I feel like I had to do it. It nice. Felt necessary, you know.
Nice.
I feel like it was the right thing to do. Play a little Hail to the Chief as we discuss fictional presidents.
Fictional presidents.
We have a list of 12 that we worked out, and like T said, we're just gonna go in and we're just gonna rank. Instead of ranking, I had an idea. I'll float it by you. If you don't like it, throw it back. At the end of our critiques, what do you say we just do like a little salute on the videos, and just like if we agree, then we just salute that particular fictional president. And then if we don't think that person portrayed a good presidential figure, then just, I don't know, we don't have to flip him the bird, but I mean, you can if you want to. We just don't have to salute or anything.
Okay. So it's a salute, no salute situation. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I feel that's simple. That's simple, easy, and plain.
Okay, fine.
We like to keep it efficient. This series, it is the series of efficiency. It is the series of standardization and monetization.
That's correct.
So how do we kick this off? Do we want to do some honorable mentions that we had, or just right into the list of 12?
Do we have some honorable mention? Do you have an honorable mention?
I have maybe one, and
Let's
it just
hear it.
so basically, I am. A lot of people know this. Teebs knows this, that I love the show 24 much to a ridiculous extent that a lot of people think so.
Wait a minute. I thought you had somebody. I thought you had the main guy from 24 on this list. You're only going to have him one as an honorable mention.
No, I'm just saying the biggest guy is on the list, but
Okay.
there have
No,
been so many
no, you're
presidents
not.
in
You're not.
24.
You're not gonna push forward one of the chump ass whack presidents on 24. That's not happening.
Why? All right, so you're not a so you're not a fan of any president not named David Palmer. No Charles Logan,
Definitely
no.
not.
I'm listen, Charles Logan, say what you want about Charles Logan, but my man was just out here just trying to get shit done, you know what I mean?
All right, you might have to explain. Not everybody is as deep into the 24 lore as you. Not everybody has seen every square frame of film
I have
pertaining
seen
to the 24 mythos.
I have seen every second, every minute, every hour of the entire 24 franchise. Charles Logan,
Admirable.
not if you ask certain people. Charles Logan was the president in season 5 starting, and
Right.
that season started off with it just started off really interestingly and just bad altogether when he was the vice president at the time, and then the president, who's not David Palmer, I always forget his name because he only lasted like half a season as the president, was shot down via stealth bomber, and Charles Logan becomes president. And then in the following season, the season opens with David Palmer being assassinated, spoiler alert, only to find out later on in the season and in seasons ahead that Charles Logan was responsible for the assassination of David Palmer, basically to quote unquote protect American interests.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
This show is outrageous.
this show's out of control, and I'm still waiting for the next season slash
So that's
movie
your
or whatever.
honorable mention? Oh no, not Logan.
I guess I can't do an honorable mention now since you shot down the idea completely.
Okay, so wait, if it's not Charles Logan, it's definitely not Wayne Palmer.
What's wrong with Wayne? Listen, Wayne Palmer is not bad either. Wayne,
Terrible. Awful.
so listen, Wayne Palmer was out here doing work after an explosion while giving a speech, and he was out here. His sister resuscitated him, and he was just like, "No, you know what? Noah Daniels, I'm the fucking president, and you're gonna do what I say."
The Dio is really making the show sound more exciting than it actually is. It's
Listen,
ridiculous.
I'm gonna
And
watch.
first
I'm
of
gonna
all,
watch 24. I'm gonna watch 24 tomorrow.
You cannot give Wayne Palmer the nod because he got murked by his sister-in-law. No good. Nasty work.
I was gonna give the nod to Allison Taylor. She was the president in season 6.
I have a honorable mention of my own.
If you say Kevin Spacey in House of Cards, I swear to God,
You have him on this list.
I do not have him on this list.
Honorable mention: President George Sears from the Metal Gear Solid franchise, aka Solidus Snake.
Shit, how did I forget about that one? That's good. That's great.
Solidus Snake just out here trying to protect the people from rogue AIs. Did he force some kids to engage in child warfare? Did he employ child soldiers?
He did all of that. He did all of that. There's no maybe.
Maybe he did.
he definitely did that. There's no maybe.
But like, look, when you're trying to protect the free world from dangerous AIs that are out to enslave everyone, you got to do what you got to do. George Spears, Solidus Snake, out here early, trying to fight the scourge of AI encroachment. That's a salute to you, sir.
All right, I'll give you that. Only because I didn't even think of video game presidents, because the only presidents in video games that I have ever come across are the ones in the Call of Duty series, and they're all real presidents anyway, because that's how those games are.
Don't forget about President Ron, because I mean, you had to be a pretty bad dude to like save him, but like if you were, then
President Ron.
you don't remember? Are you a bad enough dude to save the president?
Oh, okay.
Bad dudes.
Oh, what about how about the president from Resident Evil 6?
Whack.
Whack?
Whack. Yeah. He gets turned into a zombie, and then
Everybody was turning into zombies.
Leon has to shoot him, and it's a whole thing. Like, you shot the president. Yeah, but he was a zombie, but still he was the president. So we're taking you in. No, don't do that.
Doesn't he get some kind of salute at least because he was out here fighting the Umbrella Corporation? He was just like,
Yeah,
no,
he
we can't allow
in
that.
the worst possible way. So no salute.
Wow, that's rough. That's rough, man. I feel like that's not fair.
Anyway, any more honorable mentions?
No, I think
Let's
we're good
keep
on
it
the honorable mentions. Let's just keep it moving. Let's keep it rolling. First on the list, I'll just go ahead and say it. President David Palmer, played by Dennis Haysbert in the show 24. David Palmer first. I always forget. He was before Obama, so he was free. He was the best portrayal of a black president we could ever have. I'm not saying Morgan Freeman in Deep Impact.
Morgan Freeman in Deep Impact. Great.
I'm not throwing a bone to Morgan Freeman in Deep Impact when Tia Leone. Listen, I can't respect anybody that's out here letting Tia Leone take his lunch money. All right.
Wow.
Like, props to Tia Leone, but god damn it, Morgan Freeman. Like, really? But anyway, Dennis Haysbert. His character didn't really get incredibly fleshed out until like season 2, season 3. Season 1 was just him running for office, so you got the family aspects of President Palmer or David Palmer, and then once you got into the office in season 2, you got to see how he operates as a commander-in-chief. Very stalwart, very straightforward, very no nonsense, very gets to the point, out here doing work and getting work done.
A fine president and a great insurance salesman. Salute to President Palmer.
Not to mention one of the greatest power hitters in Cleveland Indians history. Dennis Haysbert, salute to you, sir. I know you're not the biggest fan of 24. I can't remember the last time you watched. When's the last time you even watched a episode of 24?
I think the last season I watched is the Habib Marwan season, which I think is season 4.
4. Yeah, that sounds right. 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But David.
So yeah, that's when I was out.
David Palmer in season 3 with the Salazar family. That's probably my favorite season of Dennis Haysbert as President Palmer. I think the added story element of him trying to find a new relationship with his doctor after going through everything that he went with Sherry Palmer, played by our good friend Penny Johnson-Gerald. I just think that was a wonderful insight into how he moved on from the Sherry Palmer nonsense.
And it was definitely nonsense. That show devolved into nonsense pretty quickly. Anyway,
we know the formula. We know the formula of 24. It starts out fine, and then Jack Bauer has to save something, and then there's this ridiculous, hilarious twist, and then there's the other 12 hours. That's the formula. It works for me. so it's fine.
Yeah, it's great. It's fine programming. I'm going to move on to another great president, President John Harker, portrayed by Donald Pleasance in Escape from New York. Now, I know what you're saying. Why, why is this guy even up here? Like, he, he crashed into the New York Island into a giant pantyhose container. He was in there. He got captured. Duke of New York had him wearing a wig at one point. But I will say this: say what you want about our guy, President Harker,
Donald
but what
Pleasance.
Donald Pleasant. When the time came and he got the opportunity to do what he needed to do, he did it. Not only did he gun down the Duke of New York,
He
but
did.
then 15 minutes later, he's in a suit and tie ready to address the Soviets and the rest of the world. Like, this guy, like, props, salute to you, sir. Like, a lot of people would be all shaken up and be like, oh my God, what do I do? Not this guy. Right back on the horse.
Right back on
Right
the
back in
job.
the saddle.
Right back on the job.
Right back on the job.
Salute to you, Donald Pleasance. I will say, little known fact, I don't think that the president's name in Escape from New York is ever referenced. I had to actually look it up on Wikipedia as to what the president's name was in the movie.
I don't think he actually ever is given a name. He's just the president.
It's always the president, right? I had to look
Right.
it up on Wikipedia to figure out who the hell it was.
I'm gonna see quickly if a Dio can catch this line reading.
Oh my God! What are you doing? Go ahead.
A couple of hours ago, the president's plane went down.
No, it's not get a new president. That's too soon.
It's president of what?
President of what? Yeah.
That's not funny. That's not funny, Pliskin. All right, fine. It's we've made plenty of references to snakes already this podcast.
No, we could do some more. We could do some more. No.
All right.
So we gave a salute to Dennis Haysbert. Donald Pleasance gets a salute. Next on my list is a president that I didn't know too much about because the show was not on my radar. Aaron Sorkin was not necessarily in my viewing bubble a little bit, so it took me a while to start watching the show, and that's The West Wing. And Josiah Jed Bartlett from The West Wing, played by Martin Sheen. Top tier fictional president. Automatic salute to Martin Sheen and Jed Bartlett.
Automatic salute. But let me ask you this.
I will say this. A lot of his policies and things, they seemed pretty centrist, but let's face it, as a Democrat, that's kind of what we get now. He was kind of a moderate Democrat, just kind of trying to work with everybody. That's the thing about Jed Bartlett. He was always trying to work with the other side, no matter how ridiculous they had gotten in the show. It's not nearly as unproductive as, say, like the Tea Party or like the MAGA Party now, but it was still difficult. It was still some butting of heads.
I have two questions.
Go ahead.
First question: should we be trying to track what political party these presidents would be members of? Like, I'm pretty sure.
We can try.
I'm pretty sure David Palmer is a Democrat. I'm pretty sure Donald Pleasance is Republican.
Wait,
Bartlett.
Hold on. Make your case as far as why you think Pleasance was a Republican.
Did you see him work that AK? Of course, he's a Republican.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good point.
Of course.
Point taken. President Bartlett, like you could say in the show he's all Democrat all the time, but he has little bits of conservatism in there. Like I said, he was a moderate Democrat. He was somebody that could appeal to the Rust Belt and the Midwest and both of the coasts.
Yeah.
At least that's how he's portrayed. So I listen, all the big West Wing stains that are totally going to be in my mentions later on today. You can go ahead and correct me, feel free, but that's kind of where I landed with that. Also, the thing about Jed Bartlett, the man knew how to fucking create a staff. Leo McGarry, CJ Craig, Josh Lyman, Sam Seaborn, and then in the later seasons, you get Will Bailey. Like, the man knew how to put good people around him, and that's something you need. You need somebody that can build a team. Jed Bartlett is probably the best general manager style president I've ever seen.
I don't know. He did hire Toby. I don't know how I feel about that.
All right, what's wrong? Okay, all right. You're firing off a Toby take. Let's hear it.
I don't have a take. That guy just rubbed me the wrong way. How do you feel about the other presidents in the West Wing?
So, let's see. So there was the Alan Arkin Republican candidate.
Alan Alda?
Alan Alda, sorry. He was the Republican senator from California in the Matt Santos run. Matt Santos, also solid presidential candidate. I can't recall any other. So John Goodman was the president for a little bit when Abby Bartlett gets kidnapped. Again, spoiler alert. Not Abby. Elizabeth Bartlett gets kidnapped in season 4. So John Goodman, who was the Speaker of the House, takes over as president while they are trying to get Elizabeth Bartlett back. So that's another president that was there. Outside of that, it was just Jed Bartlett the whole time. Unless I'm grossly forgetting something.
I thought that Jimmy Smits actually won and was president for a season or two. Okay, fine. Never mind.
He was probably president in the very last season.
Got it.
But again, Jimmy Smith.
Okay.
Matt Santos, good presidential candidate. I would vote for him. I would salute him if he was part of this discussion, but he only got a season, so
now we're gonna move on to like hands down the single best president on this list. It's not even. I mean, there's one more president that might rival this person, but we're going with President Thomas Whitmore, portrayed by Bill Pullman in Independence Day. First of all,
okay, I will agree. It's hard to top.
Are we saluting? Are we saluting?
Why would we not?
Okay, this guy like defended the Earth from alien invasion, and he wasn't just sitting in some office giving orders, eating pies while it was going on. He was out there in the shit with the grunts, flying around, getting shot at. Like, I'm pretty sure he got reelected. Pretty sure.
There's no chance. There's no chance Thomas Whitmore didn't get a second term. Like, no chance.
What's his campaign slogan? Hey, I saved the fucking Earth. How about it?
And that's an interesting question. We didn't really. Okay, let's answer this real quick right now. Thomas Whitmore, what party would he be in?
Well, this is tough. This is pretty tough.
Fighter pilot, war guy.
It's a lot of Republican vibes.
And that's simply because we don't know anything about Tom Whitmore outside of the defending America from aliens, defending the world from alien invasion.
But listen, if you're defending the world from alien invasions, I gotta say, I really don't care what your policy is.
Right.
I don't care what your foreign policy is. You save the Earth from alien invasion. Like, that's all I need to know. I want the guy that saved the Earth from alien invasions. And do I know what his tax policy is? No, I don't care. It's going to be a tax policy that supports saving the Earth from alien invasions. That's what it's going to be.
Here's my question to you. obviously Tom Whitmore.
I will say really quickly. I will say that whatever political party he was a member of before he saved the Earth from alien invasions, henceforth it was the Whitmore Party.
Oh yeah.
There's no other.
And honestly, how do you run against the guy that saved the Earth? What platform could you possibly run on? But
The taxes. The taxes.
if you're in a debate with Tom Whitmore, the debate lasts all of 5 seconds.
It does. You're gonna say you're gonna say a bunch of shit, and Tom Whitmore is just gonna go. I saved the fucking Earth from aliens. Debate over.
Walk off, mic drop, and then he does it. He saves the Earth again in Independence Day Resurgence.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking
all right,
about.
so in Independence Day Resurgence,
what is this Independence Day Resurgence you're talking about? I don't know what that is.
Can I tell more about the story of Tom Whitmore and his heroism, please?
I mean, I think we're done. Like,
I'm just saying,
he saves the Earth from aliens, and then that's it. There's no more story. There's no more story.
I'm just saying, he went out like a G. He was just like, listen, I need to get in this old-fashioned World War II radio truck and lure this queen alien out so that hydrogen bombs can be like dropped on her, and then we save the fucking planet again. Went out like a G.
That sounds wild. Like, I don't even know where that would have happened. That sounds like fake news to me. What's the next president on the list?
All right, so the next president on the list is, from the action standpoint, since we're kind of going in that direction, this is the only guy that could possibly give Tom Whitmore a run for his money.
I disagree, but we'll get to that.
And that's President James Marshall, aka Harrison Ford in Air Force One. Listen, it's Harrison Ford as president. Is Indiana Jones president? Okay?
Sounds terrible to me.
Well, listen. I know Indiana Jones is a terrible archaeologist. Sorry, but
just like a terrible person in dealing with women, just like in general.
Not
good with women.
Not wrong.
Or children. Like Jesus.
But in Air Force One, terrorists led by Gary Oldman take over the plane because they have some reservations. They want some of their guys to be freed, as does most terrorist movies involving in the 90s at that time. Everybody, all the terrorists want to get their buddies freed and need America's help to do it. So they hijack Air Force One. Gary Oldman is out here. He's kidnapping James Marshall's whole entire family. James Marshall is out here. He's got to get the stewardess's help. He's got to do everything he can to save his family. Again, reluctant to get on the whole action train and just like really use force, but once he does, like, this movie, it gets going real quick. It's just going 1,000 miles an hour.
I disagree.
Really? All right, let's hear it.
Just fucking negotiate, bro. You're a politician. Like, why are you resorting to fisticuffs? I don't. So what's going to happen? You're sitting down with the premier of the Soviet Union, and he says something so you don't like, so you're just going to, like, start punching? Like, no, that's not what I want from a president. Let the terrorists go. Yeah, whatever you guys say. Until I get on the ground, then what's going to happen?
Until I get on the ground.
We put this plane on the ground, what happens? You all get murdered. That's what happens. I just need to keep you guys talking long enough for this plane to hit the ground. As soon as we hit the ground, that's everybody. Like, SEALs are coming in, Rangers, SWAT team, Power Rangers, everybody's coming in there.
Don't you think Gary Oldman's crew is kind of prepared for that inevitability?
The inevitability of what?
Like if he waits and does all the negotiating and waits for him to hit the ground, like his plan is over. Like he has to know that.
Right. So, like, what? But if I'm the president, I also know that, hey, you only have the upper hand while we're in the air, and as soon as we're not in the air anymore, you're done. So I just need to like stall long enough for this plane to run out of gas, and then we're in business.
So you as President Teebs, which should just frighten the shit out of all of us, that's your strategy if you're put in that similar situation?
I think it is a more solid strategy than punching dudes. Okay.
Can I go back to something that you said? I think that Harrison Ford in this movie, like listen, in Indiana Jones aside, I think that he has wonderful relationships with women in this movie. Glenn Close is his VP, for God's sake. Come on.
I don't want a vice president that boils people's rabbits. It's no good. Don't
Not
want
wrong
that.
there. Not
Don't
wrong
want
there.
that. Don't want it.
So, do we take a little breather here, or do we get into? Actually, there's one more action-based president on this list,
Yeah,
and
you're
then
gonna
we'll
have to
go.
drive this one because my knowledge of White House Down is pretty
Okay, all
thin.
right. So Jamie Foxx in White House Down plays President James Sawyer. All I need to tell you about Jamie Foxx in this movie is that it was like right after Obama, and there was so much of the charisma that Obama had in this movie, right? Jamie Foxx is out here he's a president out here wearing Jordans, okay? Like he's out here, he's in the Jordans, he's running around with Channing Tatum. He's got Maggie Gyllenhaal as like the special agent in charge. I think Jamie Foxx, the dynamic between Jamie Foxx and Channing Tatum in this movie is actually really, really good. If you've never seen it, I suggest you check it out. James Woods, Jamie Foxx out here not taking no shit from James Woods, which is always good. And directed by Roland Emmerich, who, listen, he'd say what you want about the man, but the man knows how to make a fucking action movie. That's for damn sure. But Jamie Foxx was just like the cool president. He was just the cool black dude at the cookout.
Okay, that's fine, but still, like, I don't think as a president you want to be resorting to physical violence.
Listen, sometimes you got to get in there, you know?
Okay, that's fine.
So are we giving a salute to James Marshall, Air Force One?
Okay, fine. I'll give a reluctant salute.
You can say no. We can agree to disagree. I'll salute James Marshall if you don't want to.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
And then James Sawyer, need to see a little bit more out of that, just because like the movie it's revolves more around the Channing Tatum character than the James Sawyer character. So
True.
I can't quite give the salute, but I do acknowledge the performance. Let's keep going down this list here. One of, if not my favorite portrayal of the White House. And I got to say, a lot of people feel that it is the West Wing, but I've heard a number of people from different political spectrums, both professional and otherwise, that say the more accurate depiction comes from the show Veep. Just absolute chaos all the time, 24/7. Your day is normal for 3 seconds, and it just all goes to shit after those 3 seconds. And no person does this better than Julie Louis-Dreyfus in Veep, who plays Senator, then Vice President, then President Selena Meyer, who goes on to just be Selena Meyer, head of the Selena Meyer Foundation, only to try to run for president again in the last season. It's just all kinds of hilarity. I love Julia Louis-Dreyfus in the show. I rewatch it constantly. It is my election night show of choice. And I got to say, when it comes to Josiah Bartlett forming a team, Julia Louis-Dreyfus also does it very well, but in the best comedic way possible.
I can't give the salute here.
Why?
She's just so much of a narcissist and
Yeah,
just so much of a I just can't do it.
I will say that Veep is Veep one of the most quotable shows of all time?
If I believe, like, look, I think that if you worked in Washington, you would probably be sick to death of Veep quotes. So yes, I do think it
Okay.
is very quotable. But yes,
I do. Some of the characters in Veep that interact with Selena Meyer are some of like my favorite. For example, anytime Selena Meyer and Roger Furlong are in the scene together, just like I'm sitting back and I'm just like just watching the hilarity ensue with Furlong's racist, misogynist comments. I know that's terrible to laugh at, but god damn it, it fucking cracks me up every time. And then all the gay jokes towards his assistant, it's ridiculous on a level that defies description. And I feel bad for laughing at it. I just can't help myself anymore.
yeah, I mean, he's kind of, and like that's the point. Like that's why I can't give her the salute because she'd rather stoop down to this guy's level rather than rise above and try to like, you know what I mean?
And that's the other thing about Selena Meyer. And I hear your point, and it's like she never did too much to lift her staff up.
Right.
Amy Bruckheimer and Dan and Mike McClintock and even Gary, like her personal bagman, like she never really did anything to like lift them up past what they were doing. Like Amy had to like walk out in the most curse laden fucking thing ever. And did any of those people move on to any other jobs outside of the White House? I don't think like Dan was working with the oil people and Sidney Purcell,
I
but like
believe, yeah, that's right.
outside of that, I can't name one other person that landed a job outside of the Meyer presidency. Like, because usually you get those guys and they go into like the private sector, but nobody was hiring those people.
True.
Yeah, I
That's a
agree with
fact.
you. I can't give her the nod. I can't give her the salute. I can't. It sucks that it sucks because she's the first real female president depicted on television.
Very funny, but
Very funny. Can't give her the nod. Can't give her
can't
the
give her the
salute.
salute. Can't do it.
Sorry. All right, you're gonna have to run this next one because, like James Sawyer and White House Down, I have no frame of context for this next person that is on Teebs' list, and that is President Laura Roslin from Battlestar Galactica, played by
Okay,
Mary
folks.
McDonald.
Okay, folks. So picture this. Picture you're looking down the barrel. Picture this. You're the Secretary of Education when all of a sudden most of the human race is wiped out. Like all but 10%.
Damn.
You are suddenly, because you were the highest ranking official left, you become the president, and then it is your job to guide the last remnants of humanity, keep them together, keep them focused, keep them headed towards a single goal, all the while dealing with rogue undercover agents. You got people inside your own apparatus that are trying to kill you. You got a military that just wants to go off and do its own shit at any given moment. But she manages to keep it all together, keep humanity together, keep them going on a path towards hope in the future.
Sounds like a lot.
President Rosalind, she gets the salute.
I'll give the salute just based on that. So, Secretary of Education, right to the big chair.
Right to the big chair.
And how was she presidential? Like, was she out here getting the job done the way that it needed to be done in that highly tense
Not
scenario?
only was she battling again military coups at any moment, all kind of bad political actors, not to mention enemy undercover agents all over the place. She was fighting off cancer at the same time. Cancer. Wow. She got it in.
Listen, FDR went through World War II and the Great Depression with polio, so right, but still really, cancer. Come on,
what are we cancer. Doing? What are we doing? Don't do that.
Cancer's a big one. Yeah, I'm not gonna. No, listen, I apologize. I'm not going to disrespect. Laura
like trying to disrespect.
No, I'm not.
Sounds a little disrespectful.
I apologize. That's not what I meant at all. I am not going to disrespect the great name and the great work that President Laura Roslin did in Battlestar Galactica. Not at all. Because I don't need those enthusiasts out here in my tour dimensions either. I guess we're going on a run of female presidents because I'm gonna throw a nod to President Claire Underwood from House of Cards, played by Robin Wright. Claire Underwood was only president in the final season of House of Cards, and that was after the Kevin Spacey allegations came to light. And from what I've read, from what I understood, that was originally going to be written for how the final season of House of Cards played out was how it was going to play out with Kevin Spacey still in the big chair, and they had to rewrite the whole damn thing. So, number one, great work by Robin Wright to just come in, sit right down, and just say, okay, he's out, he fucked this whole shit up, but I'm still here, I can run the shit for one season and get the job done. The thing about the Underwoods is that, like the Myers, very, very narcissistic, very just about them and trying to advance their own agendas and their notoriety. So can't really give them the salute for that. But Claire Underwood was out here, getting things done in kind of a spiteful way, which I kind of appreciate. Like, she wasn't out here taking no shit from no man, so I kind of I applaud that. I'm with that. Can't give her the salute, but I'll give you a a hat nod for just being a strong female president.
So I dipped from House of Cards after all the Kevin Spacey stuff, so I am unfamiliar with this season. So I thought you would
have dipped out. I thought you would have dipped out like many Pennsylvanians after the one congressman from Pennsylvania got into some crazy serious shit. I know a lot of friends in the state that were just like, yeah, they can't do Pennsylvania like that. We're not fucking watching the show anymore.
Right.
One of the greatest actors of our generation, probably, Jack Nicholson, has been the president before, and that is in the movie Mars Attacks. Would you like to do this one? Because I don't feel I could do it justice.
There's not much to say. Martians come. He is pretty much inept and incompetent, so he's not getting the salute. But funny, does help lead some kind of resistance. But again, he's no President Whitmore. I'll say that.
So what you're saying is that if it is James Dale against Tom Whitmore in terms of fictional presidents who stave off alien attacks, you're going Whitmore all the way.
Whitmore all the way. That is correct.
I feel like we can't finish this discussion without mentioning just all-time ridiculousness and craziness in terms of fictional presidents, played by Terry Crews in the movie Idiocracy. Please tell me you've seen it, because actually, well, we lived it for 4 years. Terry Crews playing President Dwayne Elizondo Mountain Dew Herbert Camacho. That is his name. I looked it up on Wikipedia. I swear to God, that's what it was. How he comes out in the chamber when Luke Wilson walks in to explain what the hell's going on. He comes out and he's got the blonde wig and he's got the muscles and he looks like Apollo Creed from fucking Rocky 4. And then as he's traveling, the big Harley Davidson just like rolling through, and he's just got like the whole crew behind him. It's so silly, it's so stupid, but he is at least listening to what Luke Wilson is trying to say as far as like how to finish and how to fix things. He was at least confident to at least listen to solutions to the problem.
Okay, so his mind was open to solutions. His hair was fabulous.
I don't like the fact that he was in the pocket of Big Brondo for as long as he was.
But everyone was in the pocket of Big Brondo. That's like saying that's like saying you and I are in the pocket of Big Apple. Like, yeah, everybody is in Apple's pocket somehow or some way. But
and you with BuzzFeed, which we still need to iron out the new contract for the season.
Camacho, no, I cannot give him a salute because he's an idiot. But I mean, as if you got to be a president of idiots, I guess you could do worse.
Listen, you're gonna be out. You're gonna have Terry Crews is gonna be out here looking for you now, and there's nothing I can do to stop him.
Look, it's not my fault. That's the role. The role was to be an idiot.
Terry, I'm your. This is KidPhoenix speaking here. I'm your friend. I'm your buddy. What Teebs says about you is not how I feel. Please don't kill me on the way to get to him. Be nice of you. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
If I see you at a Brooklyn Nine-Nine reunion panel, just remember what I said.
Great. Why don't we? Oh, here comes another bus. Why don't you throw me under that one too?
No, listen. Stand on business. That's all I gotta say. We stand on business here on this podcast.
We do. So monetization and standardization
and standing on business.
And with that, once again, we would like to impart to all of our friends and anyone else and any enemies we might have listening to the podcast. Get out there and vote, and get out there, vote, make your voice heard. It's important.
And while you're voting, while you're in the process of executing your democracy, listening to the podcast, like, follow, subscribe to the podcast. All links will be in the descriptions. We will be back next week. We're not sure what we're going to talk about yet. Hopefully something uplifting. If things go negatively for some of you, some of us, I'm just going to go out and say it. I am a registered Democrat. I am voting for Kamala Harris. Whoever you vote for, it's up to you. Just exercise your right. Go out there, get out there, vote. Whoever it's for, like we said. You could, if you're voting for Kamala, cool. If you're voting for Trump, also cool. Like, no bones about it. That's how this system of democracy works. And this is what we got, okay? So it's one or the other. Make your choice, make your voice heard, get out, vote. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Teebs, anything else you would like to add?
That is all. Until next time, everyone.
We are going to get out of here until next week. We will talk to everyone soon. And yeah, get out there, vote. Vote, goddammit. We're out of here.